Hi, I'm Rachel Lynn, and I am on a journey to get out of my student loan debt and lose some weight along the way. If any of that interests you, go ahead and click that red subscribe button down below. Today is a Financial Friday budget video. So July is literally just a couple of days away, and it is time to set up my July budget. If you haven't set yours up yet, do that now. Take some time this weekend, get it done now because July starts on Monday. Be ready or your money will leave before you are even started. Before you even know it. It'll just be gone. It's gone already. Okay, budget now. So I can't believe it's July already. Like, June was just like half over and now it's July already and I don't know what has happened to life. Anyway, alright. Let's just get into it. So I am starting out here with a brand new clean budget. Everything has been emptied out from all of my categories, and then I'm going to start with my notes. So I actually found out, thankfully, before the month ends, and I actually got the check, but my last check is actually going to be more of a payout. So if you don't already know, I left my previous job and I am currently looking for another teaching job. I had to go and I thought it was oh no, I did sign a paper. I had to fill out paperwork, but no, I just signed a paper that said that I wasn't coming back, and then she gave me information about my 401k and my insurance, and then also told me that I will be paid out the rest of my checks that are coming, and I will not be paid in July. I am only paid in July if I am continuing my contract into the next year, but since I have ended that, then everything else that I am owed for all the work that I've already done, it will be paid out at the end of June, so June 30th. So my check that I get on the 30th of the month always goes towards next month. So it's not really going to affect how I spend anything at all because I'm trying to spend as little as possible, being on a bare bones budget. But that does mean that I'm not going to get a check in August, and that means I'm going to have a much bigger check for the 1st of July, and I'm also not going to get a second check in July. All of that is fine because I basically can pay everything that I need out of my first check, and then the rest of it is just kind of on top of that. Now, it's not that case normally. Normally, I do need a little bit of the second check in order to completely make it through the month, but because I am on my bare bones budget, everything that I need can be used in that first check, and so I'm good to go. It'll be fine. So it really doesn't affect me much, but I will say that I will probably have more taxes taken out because it's more money all at once than what I normally get, and so in the short term, like right now, the summer, I'll be making less money than I would had I been getting paid through July. In the very long term, it doesn't really make a difference because my taxes will even all that out in the long run. But for right now, that means a little less money, even though I'm getting more money all at once, if that makes sense. But let's go ahead and see what my budget is going to look like for this month. So I have cleared everything out. Like I said, it is now July. I actually changed the name. Sometimes I forget that. And I'm going to go through my spending and show you what I'm going to change and what I'm going to keep. So I am going to actually keep my church spending. I guess it's not really spending, it's church giving. I'm going to keep that in the budget for the month of July and then see where I am in August and see if that needs to change or go away for a little while. I just like the responsibility of giving to my church and the money that they expect based on the fact that I told them that I would be giving a weekly giving and they budget on that. It's hard for them to budget when, I don't give like I have told them I will give. So that responsibility and living up to my responsibilities is weighing on me on this. And plus I am getting paid for the month of July, so I want to go ahead and give money to my church. But for August, I don't know what I'm going to do yet, so I'm not worried about August right now. I'm worried about July, and July I am giving money to church. Thankfully, there are only 4 Mondays in the month of July, so I can keep this at $120 because I give $30 a week. I don't add anything to my savings except for the interest from my Capital One accounts, and I don't budget that because I don't really know how much it's going to be, like around $1 or $2, but I just put all of that interest earned in savings, and it evens out, and so I just don't add that in there. My rent is paying my undergraduate degree. I live at home with my parents, and they are paying for my undergraduate degree, and we cut out the middleman, which after a few times of saying that, I realized that my parents are the middlemen. So anyway, they've been cut out. I just pay my undergraduate degree, and then my parents pay me and make up the difference, but they usually pay me in cash, and I just kind of like hold on to that so I don't deposit it. So that bill is $273.66. That is an automatic payment. That is the minimum payment. It should be way more than that because this is over a $100,000 loan, but I am currently on income-based repayment. That is to kind of help me out a little bit in my minimum payments for my loans down here for my graduate degree, and then it also helps my parents out because my mom right now is very sick, and my parents are trying to conserve as much money as possible right now while we are trying to figure out her situation and all of that. So anyway, that's going to stay the same. It doesn't change. My graduate loan payment, that is fully my responsibility, and that minimum payment is $110.24. While I am on a bare bones budget, I am not adding anything extra to my student loan payment, my extra student loan payment. I like to put $1,100, but it's not, I'm not putting anything to it. It's all going to savings. And so I haven't put this amount up there, and I'm not going to. It's just whatever I can save, I will save. I don't add anything to my checking account. That really is just half of my emergency fund, and then it is easy access for my Capital One 360 accounts, for my savings accounts, and it is just my checking account, but I just keep that in there. Maybe I should take this out. I don't know why I have it in there since I don't add anything to it, and I have other checking accounts that I do add to, but moving on. Sinking funds, 170. I feel like since I am getting paid, I am going to keep that where it is. Now, I'm going to show you my sinking fund so that you can see where that 170 comes from. And then in my bare bones budget, it should actually be more like $70. So here are my sinking funds. I have my emergency fund, Progressive. That is a non-negotiable. I have to put in $70 a month. That's where my bare bones budget is. That's the only thing that I would contribute to, and that's because I get a pretty significant discount by paying 6 months at a time. I think I save about $75 to $80 by paying ahead of time. So I'm going to take that discount and just keep my sinking fund and keep adding to it. Gifts will be cut off if I don't have a job. And I am actually not adding anything to it right now, even though I'm on almost on my bare bones budget. Miscellaneous, I don't need to add anything to it anyway because it is full at $150. That is for stuff like Amazon Prime or anything that comes up, out of the blue and I didn't expect it coming. I actually canceled my Amazon Prime until further notice, just so you know. So it's full. I'm not going to use it. It's just kind of there if something else comes up that I forgot about. Like my car taxes. I have to pay my car taxes soon, but I don't know how much it's going to be. But I do need to pay my car taxes, and that's coming up very, very soon. And so that will cover that, actually. Then there's car repairs and replacement. I am continuing to add $25 a month to that until August when I don't have a job or any source of income. Clothing is $0. I'm not going to add anything to that. Medical, I am adding to that while I can. Laptop, I'm adding to that while I can because if you can hear that loud whirring sound, that's my computer. Also, I don't know if you will catch it, but this video that's playing, I don't catch it when I'm making it, but I catch it when I edit and it kind of freezes up a little bit, and I kind of secretly hope that you think it's just your internet, but no, it's my video. It has a hard time keeping up, and my computer overheats a lot, hence the fan, and crashes a lot, and yeah, it has problems. I need a new computer, but I'm going to add to it while I can, and then starting in August, I will no longer contribute to it. The same thing for family time because my family is precious and my mom is very sick. I want to be able to spend time with them, and if it costs money, I'm going to do it. I'm going to add money to that while I can, and then come August, I will no longer add to it. Extra change, that all goes to savings to be put towards debt, and really the extra change, that was just kind of like miscellaneous, really had no purpose, and eventually once I got $25 or more, I would distribute it to other things. So for right now, it's all going to savings. So that is where the $170 comes from for contributing towards my sinking funds for the month of July. For the rest of my bills, HP Instant Ink is $5.29. I feel like it's cheap enough. I'm going to keep that. It also allows me to print here at home, and I do things like sell on Poshmark, and I have to print out the packing slips and all of that, and then print out resumes for finding a job. So it is very important that I still am able to print, and $5.29 a month is not that bad of a deal, I think. So I'm going to keep that. Verizon, it's already pretty low. It's going to stay like it is. My gas budget, I am actually going to lower that back down to $75. I think I'm going to keep it at $75 just because that's typically what it is. I might start doing something like delivering for Instacart or DoorDash. I have not started at this point just because the summer has been crazy so far and I just haven't gotten around to doing that. If I do and my gas needs to go up, then I'm just going to spend it and I'm just going to be over budget in that area, and that's okay because I should have plenty of wiggle room when it comes to extra money on that anyway. At least for this month I will, and then once I've actually started that job, I'll have a better idea of how much gas I will need, and then I can adjust my gas budget accordingly, either in my July mid-month update or in my August budget update, just kind of depending on where my budget is and how much I've spent and all of that. So my groceries, I'm going to keep that the same. That is my bare bones budget. I kind of feel like I don't really need that much because my parents and my family have been very gracious in buying a lot of the things that I asked for at the store. I really think the problem with that was the fact that I just didn't ask for things. So they didn't know what to buy me. They've even asked me, what do you want to get from the store? And I'm like, I don't know, just get what you get. And so I think needing a grocery budget is kind of more on me than anything else. I am going to keep it right now. If I go another month where I haven't spent anything, I might lower this down a little bit, but I'm going to keep it where it is right now. My teaching budget is going to stay at $25. That is going to be not so much for me to buy anything for teaching, but more so in case if I need to buy things for looking for a job, such as more resume paper or binders. I usually put my teaching life in a binder and take that with me on interviews and things like that. So if I need any of that stuff, then I can use that money to come from here, and I think $25 is a good amount for that. My spending money is already at the bare bones budget amount, and I think it did me okay for the month of June. My restaurant budget, I feel like that was pretty tight. I ended up spending a lot of money in the month of June on gift cards as well as in cash to eat out a lot. However, I ate out a lot more than I normally do because there was like a week there that both my parents were in the hospital. My brother's friend was moving from Colorado and I was helping her move, and she wasn't even there because she's a truck driver, and so she wasn't even around. It was my brother and I that were doing all the moving, and so we were eating out and trying to work at Churchill Downs, and Churchill Downs is done now that July is over. So there was a lot more eating out than there normally is. So I think $25 should do me okay, especially since I still have plenty of gift card money. So I'm going to keep it and reevaluate next month, because that's why you have to do a monthly budget. Just because you've done a budget for years doesn't mean you know exactly how much it's going to be each month. You have to think about what's coming up in the month, and you have to plan and prepare. My weight loss allocation is $50. That is so that I can participate in a 5K, and I'm keeping that there at $50. That is my bare bones budget amount, even though that's also my regular amount. That is because it's important to me, and I want to race in a 5K, and that keeps me motivated and keeps me wanting to exercise and to do better and be better and become healthier. So that is very important and is worth the money for that. So you can see here the difference. My general budgeted money is $22.91.86. That is just my minimum amount that I get paid from teaching not really minimum, it's a salaried amount that I get paid from teaching. Anything extra that I make above and beyond that goes towards debt. $1,100 of that is an extra payment on debt. So that's almost half of what I normally make. And now my bare bones budget is $775.35. That's all I need to just kind of get by. That's less than one $1,100 paycheck. And so I am saving above and beyond 50% of my regular income. Now my regular income, of course, is changing. I don't know what it's going to be. August is probably going to be a more interesting month depending on if I'm making money or not. So it is pretty cool that I am able to spend just this much and be able to save the rest that can go towards debt later on, especially even more if I spend less than these categories allow me to. That is my budget for July. Leave me a comment down below and let me know how much money you are putting towards debt or savings for the month of July, or at least how much you're planning to put. Things are somewhat up in the air right now. I hate it when things are up in the air. I like knowing what's coming, and right now I don't know what's coming. And August, I'm just gonna have to kind of see what happens. Even if I do have a job, that doesn't mean that I will start getting paid in the month of August. If I go to work for a different district, they might be on a different pay time frame than the one that I was on. So they actually paid from August to July, and the school that I taught at before, when I lived in Northern Kentucky, they actually paid from September to August. So when I actually moved to Louisville in the month of August, I actually got double paid. It was very, very nice. Helps me in paying off my credit card debt even faster. However, that might not happen. I might have a month gap of no income. So we're just going to have to kind of see how that works. You know, I've got one more month to just kind of like use what I have and then go from there. So if you haven't left me a comment about your budget, go ahead and do that now. And then of course, like this video as it helps me out here on YouTube, and subscribe if you are not already. That's all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!